Hello everyone. Welcome to session 30 of Theory of Computation or Formal Languages and Automata Theory. So in today's session, we are going to construct the pushdown automata for a few complex problems for the few given language properties. Let us have a look on them. So these are the problems which we have constructed the PDA in the previous session. So we constructed the PDA for the language L is equal to set of a power n b power 2n such that n is greater than or equal to 1. Then we constructed the pushdown automata for the language L is equal to set of all strings containing a power n, b power n, c power m such that n comma m is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so these are the two problems that we have seen in the previous session. Now let us construct the pushdown automata for this. The language property L is equal to set of strings containing a power I, b power j, c power I plus j, such that I comma j greater than or equal to 1. So we have to construct the pushdown automata for this given language property. Okay, so here the strings must have this format: a power I, then b power j, b power j, and then the number of c's will be the sum of number of a's and number of b's. So that is, we are having c power I plus j. Okay, so for such type of strings we have to construct the pushdown automata. So what are the strings that belongs to this particular language? So in order to obtain the strings that belongs to this particular language, we have to substitute the different combinations of ij values in the given mathematical equation, right? So first we could take I value is equal to 1 and j value is equal to 1, right? So I equal to j equal to 1, and substitute these values in the given language properties to obtain the combination of the string. So a power I means a power 1, b power j means b power 1, c power ij. So c power ij means it is c square. So it is nothing but a b c c. So that is the first string that is going to comes under this particular language, right? Now you could take I value is equal to 1, then you could take j value is equal to 2. Okay, to obtain the next combination. So a power I means a power 1, so it is a only. B power j, that means b square, and c power I plus j, it is nothing but c cube. So a b b c c c. Okay, so this is the another combination that we may get. The next one is you could substitute I value as 2, j value as 1. Okay, now you will get a square b c cube, right? So a b followed by triple c's will be the another combination. You can also take I value is equal to 2, j value is equal to 2, so you will get a square b square and c power 4. Okay, so these are the possible strings that you can generate by substituting the different values of I and j in the given language property or in the given mathematical form. Okay, so this is how we can write the language from the given language property or for the given mathematical equation of a language. Okay, now here the thing is that how can we construct the pushdown automata to accept such language, right? So here, see, if you observe the string, let me take the smallest string here: a b b, a b b, triple c. Okay, triple c. So here what I have to do here is that the number of c's will be the sum of number of a's and number of b's, right? So how could we establish or how could we match that uh, the number of occurrences of a and b along with the number of occurrences of c's? So here what we do is that whenever we get a or b, we simply push those symbols onto the stack. Okay, and then for every occurrence of c we will pop the stack, right? So the moment when we pop, then the moment when we process the entire string and we don't have anything to process, and the stack content is z naught, the string is set to be accepted. Okay, so the simple logic here is that the first we will start processing the string from left to right. Whenever we encounter the symbol either a or b, we simply push those onto the stack, and the moment when we get a symbol c, we have to pop the stack. Okay, so here how do we check that the number of A's and number of B's, the sum of number of A's and number of B's is equal to the uh, total number of C's here? So how do we check this? So for this, just I am writing the equation in this form: L is equal to set of A power I, okay, B power J. Then next I am writing it as C power J followed by C power I. Okay, so I'm writing this equation in this format, right? So why I have writing this means, first I am pushing the number of a's followed by the number of b's. Okay, so first I will push the a's and then I will push the b's. Then I am going, since I am having the b's on the top of the stack, so I have to compare whether the number of b's are satisfying with the number of c's here. So that is the reason I have written like a b power j followed by c power j, right? And after uh, popping out all the b's, I am going to have a's on the top of the stack, which I have to compare with the number of occurrences of c's in the input, right? So that is the reason I have written the equation in this form: a power I, b power j, c power j, c power I, right? The reason is that first we will push a's, right? In the input, the input starts with a, right? So the moment when we find a in the input, we are going to push it, right? After following a, definitely we are going to have the b, right, or b's. So those b's are again going to push onto the stack, right? The moment when we get c, the top of the stack is going to consisting of b only, right? So since the top of the stack is going to have b's, I am going to compare the number of B's are satisfying with respect to the number of A's, right? So for each occurrence of C there, I am going to pop one B, right? So that is the comparison. So why I am doing this? Because I am having top of the stack with B, so I am comparing the number of B's with respect to the number of C's. Okay. So for that comparison, what I am doing, I am simply popping the stack, right? So after that, the completion of B's, the top of the stack will going to have a. So again I'm going to compare the number of a's with respect to the number of c's, that okay. So that is the reason that I have written the equation in this form: a power I, b power j, c power j, c power I. Okay, so anyhow it is not going to change the language, it is not going to change the pattern of the string with respect to the given mathematical equation of the language, right? So it is not going to influence the string which is to be generated based upon the given language properties. Okay, so let us have a look on the mathematical transition function here. So here I am taking the starting state as q naught, so I am writing the transition function, the delta of q naught, that is we are starting with initial state as q naught, and here whenever the input is consisting of small a and stack content is z naught, so what I have to do, I will be in same state and I have to push a. Okay, so that's why I have written q naught comma a comma z naught is equal to, that means you will be in same state q naught comma, so we have to push a. So before pushing a, we have to push the z naught, right? So that's why we have written a z naught, right? So I already mentioned in the previous problems that whenever we are considering the stack symbol, it is out of the stack, right? So if you want to push the input symbol, first you have to push the stack symbol and then we have to push the input symbol, right? So that's why we have written like q naught comma a z naught, right? So the moment when we are going to get this a, that a is going to be pushed into the stack. Okay, so the stack content will be like this, right? Next next one is that in q naught, uh, the input symbol may be a and top of the stack may be a. That means this is the first transition function belongs to the first possibility where the input is a and stack content is z naught only, so initial case. So in this case what we are doing, we are simply considering the same state q naught, and we are pushing that input symbol a onto the stack. So that's why we have q naught comma a z naught, right? The next possibility is that next symbol could be a, and top of the stack could be also be a, right? So that's why this is the second possibility where we are having more than one number of a's, right? So in that scenario what we are going to have, input could be a and top of the stack must also be a. So in this situation what we will do, we will be in same state and we are going to push a. So q naught comma a. That means we are pushing this top of the stack, that is a, and also we are pushing the input symbol a. So that's why we are writing q naught comma a. Okay. Okay. Next one is that this is the case when we are going to have the a as the input and top of the stack is also a, right? The another case is that the next input could be b. So in q naught, if you find b and top of the stack is a, then what we will do, since we encounter b, we are going to go to the state uh, q1. So here we are moving to the state q1, right? And we are going to push BA onto the stack, right? BA. Okay. The next one is that this is the case when we are having the input B on top of the stack is small a, right? And next possibility is that if you are in state Q1, that means when do you go to the state Q1? Whenever you find a B symbol, input symbol, then only you go to the state Q1 from Q0, right? If you are in q1 means you are getting the b's, right? So in q1 if the input symbol is b and top of the stack is also b, then what we will do, you will be in same state, you will be in the same state and you are going to push bb. Okay. And we are going to push bb. Okay. The next one is that you will remain in this state q1 as long as you get this b's, right? If in the state q1 if you get c as the input symbol and top of the stack is b, then what you would do, then what do you do? So simply you go to the state q2. Okay. And you are going to push epsilon. That means the moment when we get c, we have to pop the stack, right? So here in q1 we got input as c and top of the stack is b, so we are moving from q1 to q2. What is this q2 state? q2 state is specifying that we got c and we are comparing the number of c's with respect to the number of b's, right? So this is the state q2, right? So when we are in state q1, if we get small c as input and the top of the stack is b, we go to the state q2 and we are going to push nothing onto the stack. So q2 comma epsilon, so we are popping that. The next one is if the same in q2, if the input symbol is c and top of the stack is b, you will be in the same state q2 and we are not going to push anything. Okay. So q2 comma epsilon, right? So you will be in same state q2 as long as you get a input c and top of the stack is small b, right? In this situation you will be in q2 only and you are not going to push anything onto the stack, right? And during this state q2, if you get a input symbol c and top of the stack is a, then you go to the state q3 and you are not going to push anything onto the stack, right? So here why you are moving from state q2 to q3 means the q3 is a state where we are comparing the number of c's with respect to the number of a's, right? So to show that comparison with respect to the number of c's with a's, so I have taken this q3 as a state, right? Next one, in state q3, if you get input symbol as a and top of the stack is a, you will be in the same state q3 and you are not going to push anything, right? So this is the q3 comma epsilon. Okay. The next one is delta of q3 comma epsilon comma z naught. That means in q3 if you don't have anything to process and top of the stack is z naught and stack content is z naught, then you go to the final state qf and you are going to push z naught itself, right? So here we are constructing the push down automata here by using this acceptance by final state, right? So in q3 if you get this epsilon as a input symbol and top of the stack is z naught, then directly you go to the final state and you are going to push z naught onto the stack, right? Since you are going to the final state, the such type of strings are going to be accepted, right? So let me draw the state transition diagram one so that you could understand this. So I am starting with the state q naught. It is the initial state. So in this state, what we are doing is that we are specifying the self transition on input small a stack content z naught. So this is the initial case where the input symbol is a and top of the stack is z naught. And in this case, we will be in same state and we are going to push a z naught onto the stack. Okay, a z naught onto the stack. The next one is that in this state, the input may be a and top of the stack could also be a. So in this situation, we will be in same state and we are going to push a. Okay, a like this. So we will be in same state until we get B. So the moment when we get B, the input is B in Q naught and the top of the stack is A, we are going to push BA onto the stack slash BA and you are going to move to the state Q1. Okay, Q1. Done. Next. So in this state, we will check for the input B and we are going to push that B onto the stack, right? So in Q1, if the input is B and top of the stack is also B, then we are going to push BB and we will be in same state, right? Done. Next one, this process will remain same until you get C. Okay, so the moment when you get C in Q1 and the top of the stack is B, then we go to the state Q2, go to the state Q2 and you are going to push epsilon. Okay, so that is the case. Now in Q2, if you get input as C and top of the stack is B, then you push epsilon and you will be in the same state Q2. Okay, then so here we are comparing Q2, we are comparing the number of C's with respect to the number of B's, right? So in Q2, if you get A as a input, sorry, C as a input, C as a input, and top of the stack is A, then you go to the state Q3, Q3, and you are not going to push anything because we are popping out A with respect to the occurrence of C. Okay, so in Q3, if you get same, that means input C and top of the stack is A. In that case, also you will be in same state Q3 and you are not going to push anything. So slash epsilon. Okay, so in Q3, if you get a input as epsilon and top of the stack as Z naught, then you are going to state QF, that is the final state, or you could also take Q4. It's your interest. Next, so Q3, in Q3, if you get epsilon comma Z naught, you are going to push Z naught onto the stack and going to move to the state QF. Okay, going to the state QF. Okay, so this is how we can construct the push down automata for this given language property. Okay, so just what we have to do is that we have to compare the number of A's, number of B's with respect to the number of C's. So definitely we have to push A's, B's, and we have to make a comparison with respect to the number of C's, right? So how do we push and how do we compare? Based upon that, we have to implement this push down automata, right? And we need to write the transition functions like this, right? So in the previous sessions, I mentioned that whenever the questions like construction of PDA is given, you can write either this transition functions or you could also construct the state transition diagram, right? So usually this the writing of this state transition functions is enough. Okay, but if you are interested, you could also draw this state transition diagram for the given language properties. Okay, And if the question is construct push down automata with empty stack for the given language, means you are not going to have this final state, right? So this part you could ignore, this part you could ignore, right? This part you could ignore. Okay, so you could insert one state, you could insert one state q4, you could insert one state q4, and here you could specify the transition like if the input is epsilon, if the input is epsilon in q3 and top of the stack is z naught, then you are going to push epsilon itself, and you're going to state q4. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, so this is how we can construct the push down automata for this particular language. Okay, so let us move on to the next problem. So design push down automata for the language L is equal to a power n, b power 2n plus 1, b power 2n plus 1. Okay, so how do we construct the push down automata for this? So here the number of b's must be twice the number of a's and plus 1. Okay, so here first thing is that you have to generate the strings for this language by substituting the different values of n. So let me take n value as 1. So in this case a power 1, b power 2 plus 1. So you are going to get b3, a b3, comma, if I take the n value as 2, it is going to be a square, then b power 5. Okay. Then next one, if I take n value as 3, it is going to be a power 3 and then b power 7. Okay. So in this fashion, we are going to get the strings, right? But remember, while writing this strings in the examination, you should not write in the exponent form. You have to write as it is, right? So instead of writing b power 3, you have to write a and followed by 3 b's. Okay, and instead of a square, you have to write a, and instead of b power 5, you have to write 5 b's. Okay, so just for understanding purpose, I have represented the exponent notation, but in the examinations while mentioning the strings you should mention the strings as is, okay, without any exponential notations, right? So here if you see the number of b's must be uh, twice the number of a's and plus 1, right? So here how do we compare, how can we make a comparison between this number of a's and number of b's, right? So first thing is that the number of a's, if you see, it is n, and the number of b's must be double as the number of a's plus 1, right? So here what we have to do is that for each occurrence of a we have to push 2 a's, right? So what will happen? We will compare whether that number of b's are twice the number of a's or not, right? But additionally, we should have one more b compared to the twice the number of a's, right? So additional, we should have one b uh, along with the twice the number of a's. Okay. So here what we have to do is that we could write the equation like a power n b b power 2n. Okay, so we will write a power n b b power 2n, right? So what we will do here is that for each occurrence of a we will push 2 a's onto the stack. Okay, and whenever we get this b, first b, this first b, we are going to push one more a onto the stack, right? So for each occurrence of a we are going to push 2 a's. Okay, and for this first occurrence of b we are going to push 1 a onto the stack, and later on we will pop the stack for each occurrence of b. Okay, so this is how we could implement the logic. So let me consider one string so that you could understand. So let me write a b b. Okay, a b b, a b b, right? So initially I am taking the stack content as z naught. Okay, z naught, top of the stack is A, sorry, input is A, so top of the stack is Z naught here, top of the stack is Z naught, so I am going to push this A, double A's onto the stack, right? So A followed by A. As I mentioned that for each occurrence of input symbol A, I am going to push two A's onto the stack. Why? Because the number of B's must be double the number of A's. Okay, so like this. Now, when we get the first input, then when we get the next input as small b, what we have to do is that we have to push 1a, right? We have to push 1a. So for this b, what we are going to do is that we are going to push 1a onto the stack. Okay, so this will be the content. Okay, now from second b onwards, what we will do, we will pop the stack, right? So we will, whenever we get a small b and top of the stack is a, then we are going to pop that a from the stack like this. Okay, like this. Okay, then second b, so pop this stack. Okay, likewise. So in this process, we have to compare the number of occurrence of b with respect to the number of occurrence of a's, right? So the moment when we have the top of the stack is a and the input is b, we are going to perform the pop operation. Okay, so let us check this transition function here. So we are in state q naught, the input is a and top of the stack is z naught. So always the strings that belongs to this particular language must start with small a, right? So q naught, the input must be a and top of the stack is z naught. So what we will do, we will be in the same state q naught and we are going to push a z naught. So z naught we have to push as it is, and then for each occurrence of input symbol we are going to push 2a's, right? So that's why the stack content could be a z naught. Okay, next, if you are having more than one a means, if you are in state q naught, the input symbol may be a and top of the stack can also be a. So in this case what we will do, we will be in same state q naught and we are going to push a a. So we are going to push the first a as it is, and for each occurrence of input symbol a, we are going to push two a's, right? So that's why we are having q naught comma a. Okay, next, if you are in state q naught, if you get is b as the input and top of the stack is a, then what we will do, we go to the state from q naught to q1 and we are going to push a onto the stack. We are going to push a onto the stack. Okay, and then what we will do, we will consider the state q1. That means in state q1, if you get input as b and top of the stack is a, then we will be in same state q1 and we are not going to push anything there. So we are not going to push anything there, right? So that's why epsilon, right? So this process will be there in the q1. So in q1, if we get epsilon as an input symbol and top of the stack is z naught, then we will go to the state qf and we are going to push z naught onto the stack. Okay, so this is how we could implement this push down automata for the given language properties. Okay, so I think the process is clear to you. So let me explain with one example here by using these transition functions. So a, b, b, b. So this is the string, right? So first thing, we will consider, let me erase all this so that you will understand this concept clearly. Okay, so this is the string, right? The first thing is that the stack content, we are considering it as z naught. So initially we are having the stack content as z naught. So since we are considering the stack content as z naught, it is out of the stack, and the input is a, right? So if the input is a and stack content that we have taken out is z naught, then what we will do, we will be in same state q naught, and we are going to push a z naught. So the stack content will become, after this transition function, the stack content will become a z naught, right? So this we can call it as step one. Okay, this is the stack content, right? Next case, if we are having uh, the input is a and top of the stack is a, then what we are doing here is we will be in same state q naught, and we are going to push 3a's, right? So why 3a's? This is the a that we have taken out from the stack, so that must be pushed first. So that a, and for each occurrence of input symbol a, we are going to push 2a's, right? So we are going to push 2a's. So that is the reason we got 3a's here. So but here our next input is b, so we are not going to execute it. So we are not going to execute this step, right? The next step is that in q naught, if the input is b and top of the stack is a, then we are going to state q1 and we are going to push a. Okay, so if the input is a on top of the stack is a, so as I mentioned that when we are considering the top of the stack during transition function, it is out of the stack, right? So what we are doing, we will be in same, we are going to the state q1, we are going to the state q1, and we are going to push a onto the stack, right? So what will happen? The stack content will be z naught followed by a followed by a. Okay. So this is the a which we have pushed right now, right? So this is the a which we have pushed right now. Okay. So same a, whatever that stack symbol that we have taken a, that same symbol we are pushing back onto the stack. Okay. The next one, if the input is b and top of the stack is a, then what we are doing here is we are going to the state q1 and we are going to push nothing onto the stack. So here if you see, the input is b and top of the stack is a, input is b and top of the stack is a, then what we are doing, we are simply performing the pop operation. That means we are not pushing anything. Okay, now if you observe, the stack content will be z naught followed by a. Now if you see, the next input is b again, so and the top of the stack is a, so top of the stack is a. So if we are having input symbol b and top of the stack a, what we are doing, we are going to the state q1 itself, and we are not pushing anything. Okay, we are simply performing the pop operation, right? Next, so what will be the stack content? It will be like the z naught only. Then do you have any more input to process after 3b's? No, epsilon. So if you are in state q1 and if the input is epsilon and top of the stack is z naught, then you go to the state qf and push the stack z naught. Okay, so push z naught onto the stack. So this is how we could implement the push down automata for this language. L is equal to a power n b power 2n plus 1. Okay, so whatever the problems I explained during these sessions, those are all important problems. Okay, so just try to practice those problems, and they are repeatedly asked questions in the JNTK examinations. Okay, so practice this. So if you draw the transition diagram, it could be like this. The initial state is q naught, so starting state. Next, q naught on a. If you get input is a and top of the stack is z naught, you are going to push slash a z naught. Okay, this is one possibility. And next one is a and top of the stack is a, then you are going to push 3a's by remaining in the same state. Okay, the next one, the moment when you get the b and the top of the stack is a, you are going to push a itself and going to the state q1. Okay, in q1 if you get b as input and top of the stack is a, you are not pushing anything, so epsilon, and you will be in the same state q1 itself, right? and in Q1 if you get epsilon as the input and top of the stack is Z0, so you are going to push Z0 itself and you are going to the state QF, which is the final state. So this is how we could implement the push down automata for this language. Okay. Now, next problem. So design PDA which accept the language L is equal to WC W power R such that W belongs to A comma B plus. Okay. So what it means? A language is defined as consisting of set of all words. Okay. Set of all words in which set of all words in which the words will be formulated from A comma B power plus, that means positive closure of A comma B, and the strings must be in this form like word followed by C character followed by W power R. So first we have to take a word from A comma B power plus, that means positive closure of A comma B, then that word must be followed by a character C and followed by reverse of that word. Okay, reverse of that word. So first such language we have to construct the push down automata. Okay, so here let me write down the set of strings so that you will understand. So let me consider word. So word is a combination of uh, symbols that are from A comma B power plus, positive closure of A comma B, right? So let me say my word is A. Okay, let me take simple string. So I am taking the word as A, then I am taking the character as C. What is reverse of A? Reverse of A is A itself. Okay, that is the first possible combination of the string. Next, I am taking B as its word, followed by it we are having a C character, followed by that we are going to have reverse of B. Reverse of B means B itself. Okay, so this is the first possible combinations that we are writing, right? Next one, let me take the word as AB, followed by that we are having C, followed by that reverse of the word. So what is the reverse of the word? It is BA. Okay, BA, comma. Next, let me take BA as a word, followed by I am having C, followed by reverse of this word. Reverse of this word means it is AB. Okay. So likewise, you could able to generate the set of possible strings, right? So if you observe the first part of the string, that means the prefix must be W, substring will be C, and that suffix part will be reverse of the word. Okay, so how do we construct the push down automata for this particular type of the language? Okay, so let me take one string and let me implement by using the stack here. So I am taking the word as AB, followed by that I am having a C character followed by reverse of it. Reverse of it means BA, right? So how do we implement this push down automata to accept such strings? The first thing is that the first character could be either A or B. So whatever may be the symbol, the first character, either A or B, you have to push it onto the stack. Okay. So the in the input, as long as you are getting A's and B's, just push it onto the stack until we get C. Okay. So the first character in the input is A, so push it onto the stack. The second symbol is B, push it onto the stack. The moment when we get C, stop pushing there. Okay, stop pushing there. Okay, and after the C, match the stack content with the input, right? So after C, what is the input symbol that we are having? B. So it must match with the top of the stack, right? So if we are having B, that means after C, if the input is B and top of the stack is B, pop the stack, right? and next input is a and top of the stack is a, so pop the stack, right? And we reached the end of the input and the stack is z naught, so there we can go to the final state and we will announce the successful acceptance of the string there. Okay, so I think the problem is clear, I think the solution is clear to you, right? So uh, uh, just try to push the symbols onto the stack until you get the character C. Okay, so once you get a character C, after the character C you have to process the input symbols and pop the stack. Okay, that means after seeing the C character or C input symbol, for the next subsequent symbols, input symbols, you have to pop the stack, right? So let me consider this. So by seeing this example, we could write the transition functions, right? Okay. So let me start with the state q naught, initial state, right? So in initial state, the input symbol may be either A or it could be either B. So we are having two possibilities. So in starting state, the input may start with either A or B. Okay. So I am writing both the possibilities. If the input is A, q naught comma A, and stack content is Z naught, then what I am going to do here is that I am going to be in same state q naught and I am going to push that symbol onto the stack as it is. So q naught comma A Z naught, right? And next, if the input is B in q naught and stack content is Z naught, that means this is the case where we are getting the first symbol as a B in q naught, right? So you will be in the state q naught and you are going to push B Z naught onto the stack, right? So this is the first case, right? So this case, if the input is first input is A, this we have to execute, and if the first input symbol is B, we have to execute like this, right? The next thing is that the second character could be either A or B, right? So irrespective of the symbol, whether it is A or B, we have to push that symbol onto the stack, right? So in Q naught, if the input is A and top of the stack is A, then what we will do, we will be in same state Q naught and we are going to push that A A onto the stack. Okay, we are not pushing double A's, right? So we are pushing, the first one is the stack content A that we have taken out, and next one is the input symbol, right? Okay, so that is the case. If we are in state q naught, if the input is A and top of the stack is B, again you will be in the same state q naught and push AB onto the stack, right? So B followed by A. That is another possibility. If you are in state q naught, if the input is B and top of the stack is B, also you will be in same state and push BB onto the stack. Okay, and next delta of q naught comma B comma A, that means the input is B and top of the stack is A. So even though in this case we are going to push BA onto the stack by remaining in the state q naught. Okay, right? So this process will continues. Okay, then the moment when you see C, that is in q naught, if you see the symbol small c and the input, that means the stack content is A, then you go to the state q1 and you have to push that A onto the stack, right? The stack content A onto the stack. Okay, that means whatever the top of the stack that you have taken with respect to the input symbol C, that has to be pushed back. Okay, so that's why I have written q1 comma A, and the same is the case if we are in state q naught, if the input is C and stack content is B. In this case you go to the state q1 comma and you are going to push B. Okay, so the q1 means the q1 state indicates that we have seen the character C, right? So after that C, for each occurrence of the input symbol we have to pop the stack. Okay, if the contents are matching, if the contents are matching. Okay, next. So see here in Q1, that means for the continuation. So in Q1 means we have seen C. If we are in state Q1 means we have seen C. So if the input is A and top of the stack is A, then what we are doing? We are in the same state Q1 and we are not pushing anything. So epsilon. So another possibility is that if we are in state Q1, if the input is B and top of the stack is B, then we will be in same state Q1 and we are pushing nothing. That's why epsilon, right? So these are the two possibilities. The A will match with the A and the input symbol B may match with the top of the stack, right? So in Q1, if we don't have anything to process, that means in Q1, if the input is epsilon and top of the stack is Z naught, then we are going to the state QF and the stack content will be Z naught itself. Okay. So this is the process for constructing the push down automata for the given language property W C W power R. Okay. So just go through these transition functions which I have mentioned here. Okay. So the same thing you could write. So if we draw the state transition diagram, it could be like this: Q naught starting state. We are going to have multiple possibilities. Input is A, top of the stack is Z naught. So we are going to push A, Z naught. If the input is B and top of the stack is Z naught, we are going to push B, Z naught. Another possibility is that if the top of the stack is A, if the input is A, top of the stack is B, we are going to push AB. If the top of the stack is, if the input is B and top of the stack is A, then we are going to push BA. If the input is A, top of the stack is A, we are going to push AA. If the input is B, top of the stack is B, we are going to push BB by remaining in the same state, right? The moment when we get C, top of the stack is A, we are going to push A itself. If the input is C, top of the stack is B, we are going to push that B itself by going to the state Q1. Okay. In Q1 we are having possibility that the moment when we get Q1 means we have seen C, and for the next occurrence of input either A or B, we are going to compare and perform the pop operation, right? So if the input is A and top of the stack is A, then we are pushing epsilon. That means simply pop operation. The input is B, top of the stack is B, and then we have to perform epsilon. Okay. And the moment when we get epsilon as an input and top of the stack is Z naught, so we are going to push Z naught itself and we are going to the final state QF. Okay. So this is how we can construct the push down automata for this given language property. So just go through once the solution which I mentioned here. If you feel any difficulty or if you get any doubts, just uh, get in touch with me. I will explain all those doubts in the next coming session. Okay. So thank you for attending this session. That's it for today. Okay. Thank you.